this video, we're going to look at how to use the preparation time which you get for the GCSE Speaking role play task really well so that you can be as successful as possible. This time we're looking at a French example. So first, when you get into the preparation room, you're going to read the blurb at the beginning. This will tell you where the role play is supposed to be taking place and how you should address the examiner. This one says, your teacher will play the part of the waiter or waitress and will speak first. So that means that you're waiting for them to go first. You should address the waiter or waitress as vous. So we know here this is a formal setting. If it said tu, then it would be an informal setting. Then we're going to start by preparing our sheet for the role play. So remember that you'll get a piece of paper when you're in the preparation time, and you use this to write what you're going to say on, and you can literally use this like a script and you can read from it. So get your piece of paper, then you're going to draw a line down the middle. I've already got mine here. It doesn't matter if you don't have a ruler with you on the day, just draw the line. So then we've divided this sheet in two, and we're going to put two different titles at the top. On this side, we're going to write what I need to do. On the other side, we're going to write what I will say. And this side is the side that acts as an actual script that you will read aloud. So let's go back to the role play. As you can see, this role play and all role plays at GCSE have 5 bullet points. So we're going to write the numbers 1 to 5 on our sheet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now I have quite massive untidy handwriting, so I've left myself quite a bit of space. If you have neater handwriting, then obviously leave less space. We're going to do it on both sides just so it's super clear. There we go. Now let's go back to the role play and look for the exclamation mark and the question mark. Hopefully you know by now that when you see these marks on your role play, you'll have to do very specific things. So we know here, when you see the exclamation mark, you have to respond to something you haven't prepared. This is your unpredictable question. So we're going to look where it appears on this role play. On this one, it's on the 3rd point, but it could be anywhere really. And we're going to write the exclamation mark here and here. This means that when you're looking at your script, you won't suddenly become panicked when the examiner asks you something you didn't know. I'm going to add an extra detail so that we're super ready to be successful. We're going to add this, I'm going to add it in a different colour. Répétez, s'il vous plaît. Which means repeat please in French, in formal French. So that means that whatever happens, I've got something to say to the examiner, and it will give me that extra bit of thinking time if they say something that I didn't quite understand. Even if I think I've understood it, I'll probably say that so that I can be really certain that the answer that I give is correct. And because I'm still communicating in French, it's not a problem at all. Let's go back to the role play. The question is in point 5. So I'm going to put my question mark here and here. And the most important thing to remember about the question is that it has to be about the actual prompt. You can't just answer a random question that you've learnt by heart. So in this case, it's about a dessert. So I'm going to go ahead and straight away write, ask a question about dessert. Okay, so let's have a look at the bullet point by bullet points. So, we know we're in a restaurant. It says here, vous parlez avec le serveur, la serveuse, dans un restaurant en Belgique. This bit kind of just reinforces what's said here. So if you ever don't understand this bit, you can just read this bit and it will essentially say the same thing. So we know that we've got a waiter or waitress. We can probably guess that we're in a restaurant, and then this just confirms we are indeed in a restaurant, in this case in Belgium. Then we've got the first bullet point. It says, problème avec le repas and we need deux détails. It's very important that you give 2 details. They've shown that by putting it in bold. So I'm going to describe a problem with my meal. Two details. Oop. Next one. Dernière visite au restaurant, quand et avec qui? Our last visit to the restaurant, when and with whom? So we need to make sure we mention both when and who we went with in order to get full marks. So I'm going to say when I went to a restaurant, before, and who with. Not going to worry about the unpredictable question. Moving on to the fourth one. Solution possible en détail. So I need to give a possible solution. And here it's quite tricky to work out what they mean, but probably it's related to the problem here. I'm going to say one detail. There we go. Now we're going to actually write our script for what we want to say. So remembering that for point 1, I need to describe a problem with my meal and give 2 details. So first of all, I'm going to say 2 parts of the problem. So I'm going to say that mon repas, my meal, est froid, it's cold, et c'est trop salé, it's too salty. There we go. Here we've got 2 details. I said that it's cold and that it's too salty, so that satisfies the need for 2 details. Now I'm going to say my last visit to a restaurant, when and with whom. So I'm going to make sure that I use the past tense because dernier is a lovely trigger word for the past tense. So we're going to say je suis allé au restaurant. I went to the restaurant la semaine dernière. Now, if I just say that, I went to the restaurant last week, I haven't fulfilled both parts of the bullet point and I can't get full marks. So I must make sure that I say who with. Avec ma copine, with my friend. Not going to worry about the unpredictable question, just remembering that répétez s'il vous plaît is available to me. Then we've got a solution possible. So if my meal is cold and salty, I'm probably still hungry, so I'm going to say that I would like a different meal. So I'm going to say, je voudrais, I would like, un repas différent. And I might add s'il vous plaît if I'm feeling particularly polite. We've made sure that we've got 1 detail. There we go. Now I need to ask a question. So I need to ask the question to the waiter or waitress about a dessert. I'm probably going to ask them, what is the dessert, or is there a dessert? Or do you have a specific type of dessert? So I'm probably going to say, il y a, is there, de la glace, some ice cream, and I like chocolate ice cream, so I'm going to say au chocolat. Il y a de la glace au chocolat, and I make sure my voice goes up, so I've made a nice questioning intonation. This means that when I go into my role play, I'm super ready to answer all of the questions.